and
Bruh.
sometimes be a little bit strict and kind of be heavier with the bad grades. So that's not fun. But either way, for the most part, he was really cool. Like, out of all the teachers I've had, he's definitely in like my top 5 favorite teachers that I've had because he wasn't failing me, which was nice. But one day I found something in Mr. Albert's desk, something that you shouldn't have in your desk as a teacher at a school. So this all starts off as a normal day. I wake up for school, I get ready, I was super tired, I was sleep deprived, like every other school day. I went to school, I got breakfast in the cafeteria with my friends. On this day, my bus got to school really early. I was like 15 or 20 minutes early, so I got to sit in the cafeteria with my friends for like 20, 25 minutes. So that was cool. And then it was time for first period. I went to first period. First period was completely normal, and then second period came along. And that's when I had Mr. Albert's class. So yeah, after first period ends, me and my friends go into the hallway and we just kind of talk in my locker for a bit. And then the first bell rings, which means I had 2 minutes to get to class, and none of us moved. We all just stood at my locker and kept talking. And then 2 minutes later, the second bell rings, which means we are all now late to class. Now, I was a little bit worried because sometimes I'd be late to Mr. Albert's class and he'd be really mad at me and give me points off. And sometimes I'd be really late and he'd just be in a super good mood and super nice to me and my friends and just cool about it. So I was really hoping that on this day I was catching him on like a very good day for Mr. Albert. You know, last thing I wanted was an angry Mr. Albert because that wouldn't be fun. So I walk up to my classroom, I open the door, I'm the last one in class, and he goes, "Austin, you're late." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Albert." He's like, "It's all good, man, take a seat." And I just thought to myself, like, yes, he's in a good mood, like, yes, that's amazing. Because there was other times where I was late to class, and he would give me points off for the day, and like it would affect my overall grade, and that wasn't fun. So yeah, I walk to the back of the classroom, I sit down on my desk, I start working on whatever we were working on, and I'm just sitting there. Now fast forward to the very end of class, the bell rings and everyone gets up and starts leaving. And right as I was walking out the door with my friend, we were the last people out the room, and right as we're about to walk out, I hear Mr. Albert behind me say, "Hey guys, stop." And that worried me, because I'm like, all right, great. He didn't stop anyone from leaving except me and my friend. Like, I'm thinking to myself, all right, he's either about to talk to us for something that's not that important, or he's about to yell at us or something because our grades are slipping in the class. And I walk over there with my friend, and we stand in front of him, and he's like, "Hey guys, I just need your help with something real quick." And immediately, me and my friend just look at each other in relief because we both thought he was going to yell at us or something about our grades. But that wasn't the case. I guess we were getting decent grades at this time. He goes, "Yeah, I just need help fixing my desk. Can you guys hold it up while I screw this in?" And I was like, sure. He's like, "All right, awesome. There's a screwdriver in my desk. Can you grab it out the top drawer?" And I didn't hear that properly. I thought he just said grab it out one of the drawers. So I start opening all the drawers in his desk, and I hear him yell, "No, the top one." And right as he said that, I opened up the middle one because I had already started opening it right as he said that. So yeah, I opened up this middle drawer and I start closing it immediately because he was yelling at me. But as I was closing it, I saw something in there. Something I was definitely not supposed to see. It was a big stack of Playboy magazines. If you don't know what Playboy magazines are, it's just brazzers for boomers, okay? So I see this big stack of Playboy magazines in his drawer, and next to it there's something else. It's a plastic bag, a small plastic baggie of green stuff. And this baggie gave off a scent when I opened the drawer, a scent of skunk. So I think we all know what I'm talking about here. So yeah, I close that middle drawer, I open up the top one, I grab his screwdriver, and I go to hand it to him, and he's looking at me with this look of just anger and confusion and like guilt. He was giving me the look of like, did you just see what was in there? Did you see it or did you not? Like, that was the look he was giving me. And I just hand him a screwdriver, and I'm like, "Here you go, man." And he's like, "All right, hold this up for me." And me and my friend both sit there, and we hold it up, and he screws in the part of the leg that was messed up. I don't really know what he was doing, but he fixed his desk, and we helped him fix it. And after that, he's like, "All right, guys, get to class. Here's some late passes, because I know you're probably going to be late." And I'm like, "Thanks, Mr. Albert." And me and my friend walked out of the class. And right when we walked out of his class and me and him were alone, I was like, "Yo," I opened up the middle drawer of his desk, and he had a stack of Playboys and pot. And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "No way." I'm like, "Yep, I guess we know why he's having a good day sometimes." And he's like, "Yo, that's crazy." So fast forward, the rest of that day was completely normal. But the next day, I walk into class, I get my first period done with. That was a super normal class. And then after that, I go to my locker. And when I walk up to my locker, Mr. Albert is just standing there waiting for me.
Okay, buddy. Who cares about these ads, boy? No one cares about Rage, Shadow Legends.
And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Albert?" He's like, "Hey, I gotta talk to you about yesterday." I'm like, "What about it?" He's like, "When you were fixing my desk, you went into the middle drawer. That's correct, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I opened it on accident." And he goes, "Okay, so you saw what was in there, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Okay, Austin, all I ask of you is please don't go around telling all of your friends about that. It was a stupid mistake of mine, and it won't happen again, I promise." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you don't have to worry about it. I told one person, it was my friend that was helping you fix the desk with me, but that's it." He goes, okay, like, please don't tell anyone else. I'm like, I won't. And then, of course, I had to crack a joke. I'm like, so that's why you're in a good mood sometimes. And he goes, exactly. And I started laughing because that's just funny. And yeah, after that, he went back to his class, and I went with him because I actually had his class at this time. And yeah, I went to his class that day. That class was completely normal. Like, the whole rest of that day was pretty much normal. Except later that night, I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, yo, dude, don't go around telling people about Mr. Elbert. Like, that's just between me and you. He's like, don't worry, bro, I'm not gonna. Like, I haven't told anyone. I'm like, all right, cool. And yeah, he never did tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone. Mr. Elbert was a cool guy. He just made a stupid mistake, and that was the end of that. But fast forward to like 4 years later, I'm just sitting on my computer making a video, and I get a FaceTime call from my old friend from school. I hadn't talked to him in years. This is the same friend who I had in Mr. Elbert's class. And I answer the FaceTime, and I hadn't talked to him in so long. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, yo, I had to call you about this. Like, you're the only person I could laugh at this with. I'm like, what is it? And he flips his phone camera around, and it's on his computer. And it's Mr. Elbert's mugshot. It's like public records of his mugshot because he got arrested for a public intoxication charge. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. What? He's like, yeah, dude, I was looking through the public records and I saw that name. And I was like, no way. I know who that is. And I'm like, dude, that's insane. And he's like, I know, man. I had no one else to talk to about this. Like, you were the only person that would understand it. And yeah, we just laughed about that for like 5 minutes and caught up for a bit. And after that, I just kind of went on with my day. But yeah, that was the last time I heard of Mr. Elbert. Luckily, it wasn't like a super serious charge he got arrested for. It was a
Dang, I've seen all
Find
these.
out how close you are to a bachelor's degree. Franklin University's My Transfer Credit is a free online tool that shows you how your previous coursework reduces the time and tuition standing between you and the finish line. With our new, lower tuition rate and My Transfer Credit, you'll see how affordable a high-quality degree can be.
Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is a high school story time. But before I jump into it, just want to say my new song comes out at midnight tonight. If you guys want, go pre-save it first, link in the description, and you'll have it first thing at midnight. I'll also be live on Twitch after this video goes up. I've been streaming every single day on there. So if you're watching this in the early hours of it going up, after you're done watching it, if you want to come check me out on Twitch, I'll leave that in the description as well. Anyway, today's story time starts off in 9th grade, okay? Freshman year. Now this story time goes all the way into 10th grade as well, so let me give you the backstory first in 9th grade. So 9th grade, I woke up, this all started off as a normal day. I went to school, I got through most of that day completely normal, nothing too out of the ordinary. But there was this one dude who I had my last period class with, and let's just call him Brad, okay? Now Brad had a whole bunch of friends in my school that were all kind of known for starting fights and drama, and they just weren't the best types of people to hang around with because they would get you in trouble a lot. So I avoided Brad at all costs throughout my freshman year. But sadly on this day, towards the end of freshman year, I wasn't so lucky. So my last period class, I'm sitting down doing my work, and my teacher tells us that we need to get into groups to work on this project. So I go to find my friend that I had in this class, and all of a sudden someone grabs my shoulder, and I turn around, and it's Brad. He's just standing there staring at me. He's like, hey bro, you're pretty good at this class, right? Can you help me? And hey, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today I'm telling you a story from when I was in 8th grade, okay? Now, 8th grade, I was a pretty quiet kid, I would say. I got into trouble sometimes, just like anybody. But I wasn't like a bully or anything, like some people were in 8th grade. I feel like that was the year where I saw the most shit when it came to people judging other people. And today's story is about one of those people, okay? So 8th grader Luna, that's where this all starts. I went to school, normal day, right? That's how a lot of my story times start off. Now there was this dude, let's just call him Dylan. Dylan was, he was kind of troubled, I think. He came from other schools where he got kicked out and expelled and shit. Like, pretty young to be having that happen to him, but I think he just got into a lot of fights and wasn't paying attention in class, shit like that. And I can relate, sometimes I was not the best student, but I didn't, get in like brutal fucking fights where I would just get kicked out of all my schools. But me and him actually got along pretty well at first. But then he started hanging out with some weird people and more of the bad kids, I guess I would say. And he started being a huge dick to me. Like every class we were in, he'd just be really mean to me. And to be honest, I don't give a fuck. Like, literally never have. People could be assholes to me all day. I just kind of phased out. And I understood that he had some issues, so I would just ignore him. Like, he had anger problems, shit like that. But on this day, I was just not having it. I had kind of a bad morning, I guess. I don't know, I was arguing with my mom before I went to school. And when I got to school, things started to look up. So when he was being a dick to me, it just completely brought my day back down. So I was like, okay, dude, fuck this kid. I was in class, and it was a pretty small class. It was just me and like 12 other people, and he was in it with one of his friends. And he stood up, and he went to throw something in the garbage, like a paper, and he just whipped it at my face and hit me in the eye. And I got really mad, and I was like, dude, can you fucking stop? He's like, oh, little pussy's mad, little mad. I was just like, all right, dude, I'm gonna breathe, just gonna calm down. And he threw another one at me. I was like, you know what, Dylan? This is why no one fucking loves you. And he got so pissed when I said that. And I don't know why I said that, to be honest. It's really fucked up to say. But, it's just around the time when I was on Xbox all the time. So I was kind of a cruel, toxic little fuck. He's like, no one loves me? Yeah, that's why I get pussy. It's like, bitch, you haven't seen a pussy since the day you came out one. Shut the fuck up. He was like, we can take this outside. And of course the teacher's like, guys, stop, cut it out, cut it out. And he's like, yeah, Austin, cut it out before I beat the fuck out of you. And his friend starts laughing. And I was just like, whatever, dude, fuck you. So the day went on after that, nothing else happened. And I went home. And later that night, I get a message on Facebook saying, fight me after school, 4:30. And I was just like, motherfucker. And it was from Dylan. And I was like, okay. So I replied, I was like, no. Because to be honest, I knew this kid. He's a fucking nutcase. Like, he's the type that would stab me or something. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to fucking do that. So I replied and I said, no, fuck you. He's like, oh, you're a little pussy. Like, you won't fight me. I'm like, dude, I know you. You're going to either get your boys to jump in or you're going to fucking, like, bring a weapon or some shit. Like, you're crazy. He's like, oh, good excuse, pussy. I'm like, yo, look, if it's one-on-one and we meet somewhere, just me and you, and someone that's, like, cool with both of us, I'm down. But if you're just going to fucking meet me with all your boys and they jump in and start fucking beating me up or something, I'm not doing it. And he was like, all right, I guess you're going to be a pussy. I'm just going to have to catch you in school. I get it. I used to be a pussy like you, and then I started getting some. So then I just got mad, and I used the classic motherfucking Xbox Live reply. I just replied and was like, dude, I get enough of that shit by fucking your mom every night. That's the cringiest thing. I look back on saying that, I'm like, that's the cringiest shit I ever said to someone. It fucking worked. He got so fucking mad. He replied, was like, no one talks about my fucking mom like that. He said it in all caps, so I'm guessing that's how he was going to say it in real life. He was saying it to me. And he goes, don't come to school tomorrow. And I think to myself, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That could mean like one or two things. It's either him threatening to beat my ass, which I was guessing it was, or it's something more intense. I got kind of nervous when he said that. Like, everything else I wasn't too scared of. But when someone says, don't come to school tomorrow, you don't know what's going through their head or what they're planning on doing to you.
I lost
so I was like, what's that supposed to mean? And he just blocked me. So I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, well, he's probably going to stab me tomorrow. I'm probably going to walk in and just get shanked right in the jugular. So I'm going to give my mom an extra long hug tomorrow morning before I go to school. Because I wasn't going to skip school. Like, I had to go. If I skipped, my mom would just get pissed. So the next day rolls around. I walk into school. And within 5 minutes, I see him and his, like, whole crew walking towards me in the hallway while I'm at my locker. So I look over. I shut the locker. I'm, like, staring at them coming up to me. And he's just like, all right, we're going to do this? And I was like, do what? He's like, I said I'd have to catch you in school. I told you not to even come today. But you came, so we're going to have to fight. I was like, all right, I mean, fuck, I guess this is how it's gonna go. Okay, so I, like, put my backpack down. I'm like, okay, I'm about to get my ass beat, because he's with his entire crew. It's, like, him and 5 other people. So I'm just guessing they're just gonna jump in and beat the shit out of me. So I'm just preparing to get fucked up. And I see him pull his backpack off and unzip it, and he whips out this, like, fucking weirdly shaped thing that kind of looked like a strap you would put over your shoulder, but it had something on the outside of it. And at first, I literally thought this dude was pulling out a fucking gun. And I'm like, what the fuck? But then he unravels it, and it's a fucking belt. And it has thumbtacks in it on the side that he's holding towards me. So it's literally a full-blown fucking belt with needles on it, pretty much, to whip me with in this fight. And I look at it, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, told you not to talk about my mom, man, square up. And I'm thinking to myself, what kind of prison shit is this? Like, I'm in middle school. What the fuck is this? Like, it's like a prison fight. Motherfucker made a weapon out of a belt and thumbtacks. Like, what the fuck? So, right as I'm about to just pretty much take this beating, some teacher comes out of nowhere and gets in the middle of us. He's like, what's going on? He goes, what is that? And he points at the belt. And the kid's like, oh, it's just my belt. And he goes to, like, pretend to put it on, like put this belt on. But he couldn't do it because he was wearing sweatpants, so it was the shittiest fucking excuse. And the teacher goes, Austin, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, like, this is just bullshit. And he's like, both of you to the office now. I was like, all right. So we follow him up there. Goes to security first. They search him. They search me. They confiscated his belt, and we started talking to the principal. And sure enough, he ended up just saying why he had the belt. I don't know why he admitted to it, but he said, like, yeah, I brought that into school. I was gonna fight him with it. And she's like, why would you do that? That could seriously hurt him. Which it could. It was legit a studded belt with, like, needles on the other end to whip me with. I don't even know what my skin would look like after he did that to me. Probably would have looked like fucking shredded cheese. But yeah, he admitted
Beach.
it, and he got suspended for
Beach.
2 weeks for it. He tried to make the
Beach.
argument that I said something about his mom,
Beach.
and that's why it should be okay that he did what he did. But no, like you don't bring a studded belt with thumbtacks through it as a weapon to school to fight someone with.
Beach.
The most fucked up part about this story time is not even a year after this,
Beach.
someone brought a belt into school with batteries taped or glued to it or something. Also trying to.
Oh yeah, you like that? You like that?
And like, just what the fuck? Like, what kind of prison, middle, high school thing was I going to? Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the story. I didn't get punished for anything. The principal just kind of was pissed off at me because I basically instigated.
Da 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 da. Dude, I need some actual arrows, folks.
We're selling an experience. What else is there?
Every great ad is a story.
I'm telling people it was your idea.
We can't do what we do. They hate us for it.
The Don Draper
Can I make a Raptors out of here? Yes, sirree. Please,
What's the
everyone.
fastest way to raise your credit score? Is it A, pay your bills on time, B, hire a credit repair agency, C, remove inquiries, or D, none of the above? The answer may surprise you, because if you're one of the 153 million Americans with a credit score below 7...
Yeah, I am, you know, pay bills every day of my life, man.
It's about a little bit of a fight I got into. You guys seem to enjoy stories like this. I hope you do enjoy this one. Leave a like if you do. Let's jump right into this. So this story time takes place when I was 17. It was right before I was about to turn 18. And I was literally having a great day. I remember it being such a fun day. I was hanging out with my friends. I was with like 5 people. We were walking around my hometown. We went shopping. We got some food. And then after we ate, my friends wanted to play basketball at this park across the street. There was a park that had like a court and a playground and picnic tables, shit like that. And I was
Let's
like,
go
okay,
beach.
I'll walk over there with you guys and hang out. I'm probably not going to play though, because I don't really know how, and I'm probably really
Beach,
bad.
beach,
My friends
beach,
like, "Dude,
beach,
I'm gonna
beach,
teach you."
beach,
I was like,
beach,
"Okay." So me
beach,
and all my friends
beach,
walked over to this
beach.
basketball court, and there was another group of people at the other basketball court. There was 2 right next to each other, and one on
Beach.
one side playing with each other, and we were on the
Beach,
other,
beach.
and no one was on ours besides us, so it was perfect. And the guys on the other court were probably like a few years older than us, and I could already tell that they were on something. They were either really, really drunk or really high or something, because they were being so loud and like so obnoxious, and their ball kept coming
Beach,
to our
beach,
court.
beach, beach.
They kept running over, and the one dude could like barely form a sentence, and when he said thank you, it was like super slurred. But he seemed nice, and the rest of them seemed fine, so I didn't really like think anything of it. And then things took a turn for the worst when their ball came over in our court for like the 3rd time, and the same guy came over to get it, and he goes, "Yo, y'all wanna play? Let's play. Let's do teams." And my friend's like, "Yeah, sure. Let us just warm up a little bit first, and then let's play." The dude's like, "All right, man. Like warm up. You can warm up all you want, but like we're gonna fuck you up." And my friend laughed. He's like, "Okay, man. Like we'll see." Like he thought it was just like friendly competition, right? And the guy just gets all serious all of a sudden. He goes, "No, seriously, man. Like we're gonna fuck you up." And my friend's just like, "All right, man. Let us practice." He's like, "All right, man. Keep practicing." And he turns around and he walks back to his court. And they keep practicing and we keep practicing. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm not fucking playing in this. I'm not playing against some random team that does this all the time. And I'm not playing with my friends who do this all the time. Like, I'm not good at this shit. I'm just going to sit back and watch. And my friends were fine with that because they knew how new I was to this. And they knew that I probably wasn't that good and would probably just only hold them back. So they were fine with losing a player and being short one. So anyway, after my friends warmed up, they yelled over to the other team, and the team came over, and they started playing, like, immediately. Now, I don't really know too much about the rules of basketball, but I know the basics, and I definitely know that my friends were fucking them up. Like, they were losing super hard, because every time the guys on the other team would yell at my friends obnoxiously and, like, cuss at them, and the one guy who would always come over and grab his ball was, like, getting up in my friend's face, and he's like, "You guys are fucking garbage. We're going easy on you. We're going easy. We're about to eat you up." And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, these guys are fucking dicks. Like, who goes to a park and just gets fucking super drunk and just harasses random people playing basketball because they're winning? Like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, if you can't handle losing, don't challenge someone to a fucking game. So anyway, they're getting all up in my friend's face. The one dude's really getting up in my friend's face. And my friend tells him, he goes, "Yo, back off. Like, I can smell the alcohol in your breath. You're drunk. Just calm down, man." The guy goes, "The fuck you say? Nah, time out, time out." He drops the ball. He's like, "You wanna fucking fight, dude? Because I promise you I'm not just good at basketball, but I'm good at fighting too. So I walk up there next to my friend, and all of our friends walk up to him as well, because like we're gonna back our friend up. We're not gonna let this dude fucking try and hurt him. And then my friend says, "Yeah, you're good at fighting. You're good at basketball. Then why the fuck are you losing?" And the dude just immediately started taking his shirt off, squaring up, and I was like, "Yep, this is about to happen." And one of the dudes on the other team tries to like get in between them and break it up. Like clearly he didn't want to fight anyone. But then another dude that was on their team starts taking his shirt off, and this other guy's trying to break it up. Like it was just a big clusterfuck of like some people wanted to fight, some people didn't. And I'm just thinking here like, oh great, this is about to happen. Like what the fuck? So the dude squares up, and my friend's like, bro, I'm not gonna fight you. You're too drunk. I'm gonna feel bad when I fuck you up. And right when he said that, the drunk guy just charges my friend full speed and starts fighting him. And my friend took him down to the ground in probably 5 seconds, like literally almost instantly. Took him down to the ground and restrained him. Because he knew, like, this dude was so fucking drunk, he probably couldn't even fight. And my friend did the right thing. Like, he took him down to the ground and he restrained him. He didn't hit him or anything. He just used enough force to get him down there and hold him. And then, like, 3 of this dude's friends, all these drunk motherfuckers, come in and start trying to hurt my friend because he's holding down their friend because he's so fucking drunk and angry. And they're trying to hurt my friend, so then all of us jump in and start trying to fucking get them away from my friend. And it was literally, like, the most confusing fights ever. Because half of the group was trying to fight us, and we were trying to defend ourselves, and then the other half of their group was in the middle of the crowd, like, trying to break it up, and they looked like they were trying to fight us, but they were just trying to break it up and get it to stop. So it was really confusing, like, who were violent and who were, like, trying to be peaceful and break it up. So I'm just kind of standing there trying to, like, do as best as I can to have my friends' backs, even though I wasn't, like, the biggest person of the group. Like, I was pushing people away from my friends when they were trying to fight them. I pulled one dude off my friend, and that caused some problems, because when I got involved, that's when they got involved with me. I pulled one dude off of my friend, and he was kind of the skinnier one of the group, which was nice, because he was kind of more my size, and he swung at me, and he fucking hit me in the head. And that's when I just got so fucking angry, like, so mad, I just lost control, and I ran full speed at him, trying to punch him and swing at him, and I probably got about 3 or 4 good hits in. And it only lasted a few seconds, because right when we started to fight, I heard a siren, and I was like, oh fuck, it's the police. And everybody else thought the same thing, and we all stopped fighting and broke it up. So we all turn around, and it's not a police car, it's a security guard. It was the park security guard in his car with his siren. So he rolls his window down and he goes, hey, knock it off. It's a basketball court, not a boxing ring. Take that somewhere else. And we were all like, okay. And he just rolled his window up and just kept staring at us through the car and waited till we left. And
let's go, buddy. Let's fight.
Went our different ways and fucking never saw each other again. It was the most fucking, like, spur-of-the-moment, random fight ever.
Let's go, bitch.
It wasn't the first time there's been fights at that place before with me and my friends. Like, I've seen so many things go down there. It's like the infamous fighting park.
Oh shit, oh shit,
And, yeah, moral of the story is, if you see a bunch of drunk idiots at a basketball court and they're challenging you to play and they seem really, really sketchy, just walk away. Go find somewhere else to hang out. Yeah, all in all, everyone was safe, everyone was okay, no one seriously got hurt. The fight only lasted like a couple minutes, and it really gets serious. A lot of the time, it was people trying to break it up, so I'm glad it didn't get any worse
Let's go,
than it did.
let's go.
But yeah,
Where you at, buddy? Oh, yeah.
Please leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. Stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. See you guys all later. Peace.
Alright, let's go in the water. Beach. Yep. Come on. Yep. Yeah, you're dead now, buddy. What's good? What's good? I killed my raptor. Oh no, wait. Let's go, bitch.
The free TurboTax live tax expert.
Why do you need a tax expert?
His advice is free, and I can file for free.
Is my son still a dependent if he eats my food?
File a simple return for free, now with advice from a TurboTax live expert.
Are you even bloody yet, my guy? Oh my gosh.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna.
Shouldn't.
Today I'm telling you the story
Oh no.
how this girl's
Oh no.
ex-boyfriend tried to fight me and what happened. And yeah, just jump right into this. So this story takes place about a year ago. I was hanging out with this girl, just a friend.
Is it even bloody?
Friend,
Like, I don't even think it's.
nothing more. And she just got out of a relationship.
Yes, bloody.
And she was Snapchatting something. I can't remember what it was. She Snapchatted something while we were at the mall, and I was in the frame of the Snapchat. And her ex-boyfriend saw this, and they broke up just recently at the time. So he saw this and thought that she was like replacing him with me.
Beach.
about me from her, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But he started sending her these crazy snaps. Like, just like, who the fuck is that? I'm gonna come over there right now and beat the fuck out of him. Like, just all types of shit. And she's like, look at this. This is how crazy my ex-boyfriend is. Like, this is why I broke up with him. And she's showing me all these Snapchats. And I'm just being like, what the fuck? Like, how could you do this? We just broke up. It hasn't even been a week. Like, just being really, really upset. And I was like, damn, like, he seems hurt. And she's like, I know. I was like, you gonna tell him I'm just a friend? And she's like, I tried. He won't listen. He thinks I'm dating you. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what to say then. And she's like, I'm just gonna ignore him. So I was like, oh, yeah, ignore him. Good idea. So she ignored him for a couple days, and nothing really happened. We hung out on and off as friends. So Stat was freaking out for no reason. Nothing was going on. And then, a couple days later, me and her were at the park, just literally hanging out at this pier, walking up and down the pier, and we sat down on a bench. She had ice cream. I was just sitting there on my phone, literally just hanging out, talking about random shit. And all of a sudden I hear like footsteps coming up behind me really fast, like running. And I'm thinking there's a jogger behind me or someone like running by, or like a little kid. And then it got closer and I was like, wait a minute. So I turn around, and before I could even turn around, dude, this kid swings at me. And thank fuck I had somewhat quick reflexes at the time. I ducked and just barely kind of missed him. He scraped the top of my head with his knuckles, but like didn't really fully punch me. It didn't hurt or anything. So I got up and I got in the fighting stance because like that was what I had to do, because I had to defend myself. Like I was actually like had no choice but to defend myself. Like this dude's trying to attack me randomly, and like I was so confused. Like even though I was in fight mode, I was just so confused on how he knew that we were there. Like he must have looked at like the Snapchat map and found where she was and like knew that she was with me, or like guessed that she was with me. And then just fucking drove down there, just planning to attack me or like yell at her or something. So of course, when he did this, I got back up, got in a stance. She's screaming, she's like, stop, stop. She's getting in the middle of us. And he tries to run at me again and swing. And I swing back, and I just miss him. And before he could throw another punch, some dude comes out of nowhere from the side and dive tackles him. And then a friend of the guy that tackled him tackles me. And they're both holding each of us down. And I look at the guy, I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to fight anyone. Like,
let's go, kid.
He goes, I know, like, I'm just protecting you. I'm like, okay, man, like, you're good. I'm not gonna, like, do anything, trust me. He goes, all right, get up. And he gets off me. He helps me up.
Gosh,
he goes over to his friend and helps him hold down the crazy ex-boyfriend that tried to attack me, because he was still super angry. Like, he was trying to push these guys off of him so he could get up and keep trying to fight me. Like, that's how fucking mad and crazy this guy was acting. So they keep holding him down.
She dang on my dog.
He's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, oh, well, that guy that they're holding down tried to run at me and attack me. This is his ex-girlfriend right here, and he thought that I was on a date with her or something, and he thought the appropriate way to deal with it was just show up and attack me randomly without knowing anything about the situation. And he was just acting crazy. He's like, all right, well, I'll take care of this. And he goes over to him. The two guys got out of the way. The cop picked him up, put handcuffs on him, and walked him over to the squad car and put him in the back seat. I'm just thinking to myself, like, fuck, is he getting arrested right now? And a few minutes go by, and the police officer comes back over to me, and he's like, all right, so what do you want to do? Do you want to press charges? Do you want me to take him in? Like, what do you want to do here? So I was like, all right, can I talk to him for a second? And the cop's like, okay, if you really want to. And he walked me over there, opened the back door, and I look at him, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He goes, what do you want? I was like, look, dude, I don't want you to go to jail, or like, I'm not going to press charges on you. I just want to talk to you for a sec. Like, I just want to let you know that I'm not doing shit with your ex-girlfriend. We're not dating. Just friends. Like, straight up, actually just friends. We're not dating and are never gonna. So calm down about that. I know how much it hurts to think like a girl you're in love with is with someone else. But trust me, that someone else isn't me. So next time you think she's with someone and you don't for sure know, as bad as it hurts, just try and keep your mind off it and do something else. Don't find the person and randomly attack them. Like, you know how fucked up that is to do to someone? He's like, I know, man. Like, I wasn't thinking straight. I'm sorry. I was like, it's all good. And I looked at the cop and I was like, can you unhandcuff him? And the cop was like, okay. And he unhandcuffed him. The dude stood up and he shook my hand and we made up like adults. Like, and I know some people would be like, dude, fuck that. I wanted the outcome to be like you fucking punching him in the face and like all this crazy shit. Like, nah, honestly, I'm not about that shit. I don't like it. I fucking hate violence with a passion. Like, if you can avoid a fight, avoid that.
Oh, Lou got knocked though.
Someone you're beefing with, and the issue's not that serious.
Yeah, game.
Be friends. Like,
oh yes, like, oh yeah. Don't let me shoot.
Sounds cliche, but life is too damn short to be having problems.
Oh yes, I love this game.
Don't hold anger in your heart if you don't have to. Alright, I'm done with the speech. But anyway, like I said, the cop unhandcuffed him, and me and him shook hands
Okay,
and made
come
up,
on, okay.
and we became cool. Like, straight up, we just became friends, and he ended up going home. I went back to hanging out with his ex-girlfriend, and just being friends with her, and she was, like, really, like, just amazed by the outcome. Like, she was like, I can't believe you got through to him. Like, usually he doesn't listen to anybody. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm a magic genie. I don't fucking know. But anyway, yeah, me and him became cool. We actually started hanging out, and I made a new friend because of this. Yeah, you never really expect to make a friend like that.
Do you want the British stuff?
Yes.
You know, the gritty thriller stuff.
I'm not interested in peace.
The lavish...
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Austin.
I love it, dude.
Before I start this video, I'm going to plug a few things. Probably the most plugging I'll ever do in my fucking life. So first of all, I'm giving away my flip knife fade. It's like a almost $200 knife. Giving that away to you guys. If you want to enter, like the vid, go in the description, do all that shit. You'll get a bunch of extra entries. All that stuff. You know how that goes. Also, I'm streaming right now, so if you want to come check out the stream, that's in the description. I'm going to start daily streaming from this point on for the rest of the summer. So if you want to be notified, make sure you go follow my Twitch and follow my Twitter for all those fucking notifications. Enough plugging, okay? I'm talking about a party story today, okay, guys? Now, I love dogs, okay? I'm just gonna start the video like that. I fucking love puppies. If you have a puppy, we can be friends. Like, it's just simple as that. And it's funny to see dogs do stupid little things like fucking chase their tail and shit like that. But what I don't like is when fucking idiots abuse animals and think it's funny. Like, that shit is so fucked up to me, and I'm sure everyone watching this thinks the same thing. Like, if I see a dog or, like, any animal getting abused on video on, like, Twitter or something, that shit will ruin my night. Like, it'll take, like, 12 hours to bounce back from seeing that. And even then, if I think about it, I'll just get upset. But, like, that's the one thing that really pisses me off. Today's story is kind of about that. So this story starts 2 years ago. I was at a party I got invited to, and it was fucking trash. Like, I went there, I didn't know anyone there. I knew, like, 2 people, but I kept losing them in the crowd. And I knew I was going to leave this party early. It just sucked so hard. But one thing I did notice about the party that was really cool is when I walked in, there was this little beagle that walked up to me, this little fucking puppy. Walks up to me named Comet, and he was dope. Like, he was like the mascot of the party. He was cool as fuck, right? And Comet was the only dude by my side that whole fucking party that wasn't a dickhead and that was, like, not leaving me in the crowd. He was just chilling by me, right? He was kind of freaked out. There was a lot of people there, and I was just hanging with him. Well, after about 30 minutes, Comet got bored, and he went into the crowd to go do whatever Comet does, right? And I walked outside to the pool, and I found my friends, and I was talking to them. And after, like, 20 minutes of talking to my friends, I just kind of realized this party sucked really, really bad, and I wanted to go home. So I told my friends, I was like, yeah, guys, hit me up some other time. I'm going to go home, have a good one. And I started walking back inside, right? Now, when I walk in through the doors that enter into the kitchen, I see 3 fucking idiots holding the kitchen, like, cabinet doors under the sink closed. And one of them keeps opening them really, really quickly and blowing bong hit smoke into it and then slamming it back shut. And I hear whining inside the cabinet doors. Like, I hear, like, a dog whining. And I was like, no fucking way these idiots are doing what I think they're doing. Now, I know I'll get a few comments being like, Luna, you're such a pussy. Like, dogs accidentally get into pot brownies all the time and get high and, like, all this shit. And they end up being fine. That's an accident, and they end up being okay. Good for them, and they're usually adult dogs. This little motherfucker was a puppy, and these cunts had it locked into, like, this little small box, holding it shut and just hotboxing it with smoke. You could just hear Comet just whining and, like, crying. Like, you could tell he was not having fun nor happy, and he probably couldn't fucking breathe. So I ran over there and I was like, yo, and they all turned around, and I just quickly kind of ducked and opened the door under the sink for Comet to come out, and he ran out there, smoke poured out with him, and he, like, jumped on me, just freaking out, trying to lick my face because I just saved him. And they're just like, oh, you're such a fucking pussy, dude, like, you're a buzzkill. One of them pushed me, and Comet was just sitting on the ground shaking, so I pick him up with one hand, and I just looked at the guy, and I was like, yo, look, how would you like it if someone came in your house and did that to your own fucking dog? He's like, I wouldn't do shit, I'd probably laugh because it's fucking hilarious, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's fine, look at him, he's chilling. And he was shaking in my fucking hand, traumatized. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking moron, suck a dick. And this dude and his other friend come at me and get in my face with the dog in my hand. Like, they're about to fight me and Comet, little fucking puppy. And the third butt buddy is in the back, like, hyping it up, like, yelling with his beer in his hand. And everyone's crowding around us like there's about to be a fight or some shit. And I just straight up said, I was like, you're gonna fight the dog too? Like, I wouldn't be fucking surprised, you morons. And they're just like, put the fucking dog down, square up. And all of a sudden, this dude comes over and starts trying to, like, split it up. He's like, yo, what the fuck's going on? This is my house. What are you doing? And I handed him Comet. I was like, look, you should probably put that little dude in a room or something when you have parties. Like, these fucking 3 dudes are just trying to literally blow smoke in his face and, like, trapped him under the cabinet in the kitchen. He was crying for help. And he got pissed. He was like, what the fuck? He started screaming at him. And the one dude that started the whole thing with me calls me a snitch and then pushes me again. And he was so unlike me, but I just straight charged him. Like, it's so weird that I even did this. I fucking ran at him and went for the tackle and somehow successfully did it. Like, I was younger when this happened. I probably weighed less. I'm a fucking twig right now, but I went for the tackle, somehow managed to get him onto the ground, and within 2 seconds it was broken up. And I started talking so much shit. I started saying that the dog could beat my ass harder than he could, and that, like, his friends are pussies for not jumping in and helping him. I said, how's it feel you were about to lose a fight to a teenager, just being a dick? And, like, the dude that was actually hosting the party was still in the face of the other two guys, just screaming at them because, like, he was pissed that they were doing that to his dog. But anyway, I started walking towards the door to leave because I was just so pissed and just, like, so over this whole night. And right when I was about to open the front door, I hear, yo, wait, and I, like, turn around, and it's the guy that was hosting the party, aka the guy that owned Comet, aka the dude that was, like, fucking screaming at those dudes, kind of defending me. And I was like, what's up? And he's like, you're not leaving, dude. Like, you're not getting kicked out. And I was like, I know I'm not getting kicked out. I'm just pissed off. He's like, no. These fucking vaginas. And he points at all three of them. And the one dude's like, fuck you. He's like, get the fuck out of my house, you losers. I have another dog to go abuse. And they were like, whatever. And they just walked out of the house super butthurt because everyone was just kind of like booing at them and cheering at us. It was funny as fuck. But I ended up staying like 15 more minutes, talked to this guy a little bit, said that I thought his dog was fucking cool. We didn't really have anything to go off of after this. And I just left because I was still really bored and, like, there was nothing to do there. But yeah, I basically got into a fight over a puppy named Comet. I almost also got jumped because the dudes were probably going to jump in if that guy wasn't distracting them. And it was just a fucking crazy night, and I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about it. So leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure you enter that giveaway. So on today's video, I'm telling a story about someone, actually a group of people. I'm back on talking about those fucked up people I used to hang out with. And I'm pretty chill when it comes to hanging out with people. I don't have falling outs a lot, and when I do, it's over like really fucked up stuff. Like, to have a falling out with me, you have to make pancakes and put live lizard in them. Like, you have to be fucked up. I'm just fucking around, of course, but seriously, to have like a falling out with me, usually it has to be something over really, really messed up. And I had this friend, and we're just gonna call him Jack, okay? Jack was a very, very nice person for the first, like, year of knowing him. And then Jack got mixed up with the wrong crowd, you could say, and he started doing worse and worse things day by day. And it got to the point where he was stealing shit, and not just from, like, stores, but from me. And that's when we had, like, the falling out. He came over to my house. He stole, like, a $100 pair of headphones. I didn't notice it till, like, 2 weeks later. We talked. He completely owned up to it, but didn't say sorry. And then we stopped talking for a little bit. And then Jack came back to me, okay? This all happened about 6 months ago. He came back to me and he texted me. He's like, yo, can you call me? And I called Jack, and he just gives me this long, just heartfelt apology about how I'm such a good friend of his and he doesn't want to lose me as a friend. And I was like, you know what, dude? Whatever, it's done. Water under the bridge. Sure, we'll be friends again, right? He's like, all right, awesome, man. Next time we hang out, I'll give you the $100 for the headphones that I took. And I was like, all right, man, awesome. So at this point, I'm like, oh, we're friends again. Whatever, I won't trust him that much anymore.
Sorry if I'm breathing my mic.
And we make plans.
Because it's like,
he offers to come pick me up with some of his friends that I've seen before. And a few of their names, when I hear them, it just rings a bell of just like, that's kind of a sketchy person, but I've never seen them do anything myself, so maybe I'm just getting the wrong image, you know what I mean? But I said, okay. They came to my house, picked me up, I got in. It was me and just a full car of awkwardness because I've never hung out with these people before. The only person I knew was my friend, and we just got over like a fight. So it was super awkward, and we're driving around, and I just learned that these kids were basically like the thugs of my town. And I felt so weird, like, in a car with them because they were talking about, like, really fucked up shit. And, like, one of them mentioned at one point that they had plans to, like, go and jump this kid next week or something. And it was so weird. I was like, dude, I'm not liking this. Like, I kind of want to fucking go home. But I was already in this car. I was in the back seat between all of them. And I was getting these weird looks and shit. Like, I just got this really eerie, like, scared feeling. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. And the worst part was I couldn't say anything. I couldn't be like, hey, I'm very, very weirded out by all of you. Take me home, please. Because, first of all, it's a bunch of fucking creepy-ass dudes that would probably kick the shit out of me if I said that to them. Second of all, that's just more awkward than it already was. I didn't want to make it more awkward. So I just went with it. We're driving. I had no idea where we were going. I thought they were just going to, like, burn ride for a little bit, and then we'd find something to do. And we just eventually drove so far that we got to the city. And at this point, I got really weirded out because we were pretty far out. I had no idea why we were this far out, and just there was nothing for us to do out here, basically.
Bro.
To the point where we were literally pulling into neighborhoods and shit, like really fucked up neighborhoods, and just going into these random streets, like turn after turn. And I finally got so weirded out where I was like, hey, where are we going? And my friend, the one that I ended up falling out with, I don't even remember the name I gave him. I think I said Jack. He's like, hey, we're just going to a friend's house, don't worry. I was like, all right, dude, cool. And we finally started slowing down, and I just knew what was happening. We started slowing down in an abandoned-ass, like, I don't even know the word for it. It's like a circle street. I think it's called cul-de-sac. It's basically an abandoned little neighborhood. There's like 2 or 3 houses on it that are just really fucked up, and they're pretty much closed down. And it's almost completely surrounded by a bunch of trees, and it's just pretty much that place where you would go to either, 1, do a drug deal, 2, kick the living shit out of someone and have no one see it because it's so abandoned over there. And my dumbass should have just stayed home, been a nerd, and played some Xbox, but instead, I decided to go out with these fucking people, and they were going for number 2. The whole plan was lure Austin into the car, drive him out to the city, beat the fuck out of him, leave him in the street, and drive away. That was literally their plan, apparently. I'm guessing robbing Luna was a part of that, too. But we stopped in the middle of the street. They fucking jumped out of the car. Everyone jumped out except me. I'm sitting there in the middle of the back seat like, hey, this isn't someone's friend's house. And I just knew what was happening. And this kid goes, get out. One of the random kids that I've never even talked to before. He's like, get out. And I was like, what are you guys doing? He's like, just get out, dude. Come on. And like the situation itself, I really couldn't do shit. Like straight up, I was like, I'm surrounded. I'm outnumbered. I can't call someone. I can't even jump in the front seat to try and drive this kid's car away from them because he pulled the keys out. So I was like, all right, well, guess I'm going to get my ass kicked. So I jumped out of the car and I like looked at my friend and he's like, yeah, I'm not giving you that money back. And I just threw on this fake smile. I was like, yeah, I figured, man, if it's coming to this. And he's like, all right, so what are you going to do about it? He starts coming close to me, right? He's like kind of getting up in my face, and all of his friends start to surround me too. Like they're all about to just completely go at me. And I was like, I don't know, man. What do you want me to do about it? Like just trying to stall. I was like asking him questions and shit. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get fucked up, I'm at least going to just buy time so it's not as bad. And he's like, fight me about it. And I was like, fight you or fight you and your entire fucking crew? Because kind of how it's looking right now. He's like, I don't know. And he starts getting real close. Like, at this point, they're just completely surrounding me. And I was like, here it goes. Just literally preparing to get my ass kicked. And all of a sudden, I hear a car horn go off, right outside of this crowd of people. I couldn't see anything. I was surrounded by these fucking people. But I heard a car horn go off, and everyone just dispersed immediately. And I was freed from this fucking stupid crowd of kids that were about to kick the shit out of me. And I see this old fucking dude sitting in the middle of the road, just like looking at us with this confused-ass look through his windshield of his car, alone. And these fucking wannabe thugs got terrified of an old man for beeping his horn at them, and they all jumped back in their fucking car and peeled off, leaving me in the middle of this road, just looking at this old guy in his car. And they drove away because they were scared, and I'm just sitting there, and I walk up to this guy's car, he rolls down the window, and I was like, hey. I could see the whole crowd of people, what was going on. And I was like, I think they were about to beat me up, like straight up. He's like, do you have a cell phone on you? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, all right, call a ride. I'll stay here until they get here. I'm sorry that had to happen to you. And this fucking legend, his name was Paul. Paul is a fucking legend. Sat there and waited till one of my homies came and he got me and we jumped in the car. And he's like, here, take my phone number. Have a good night, guys. You guys seem like great kids. And he drove off. And like, he just completely saved me from getting my ass kicked by a bunch of these, like, I don't know what to fucking call them. I'm gonna call them tooth fairies. Fucking tooth fairies. From jumping me pretty much because they were fucking afraid of this dude. This dude was alone in his car. Older guy. Just saved me. But yeah, I got home, told my fucking friends and parents about it. They all wanted me to escalate it to something bigger, but I was just happy my eyes weren't fucking completely blue and black and that I didn't look like I just got hit by a fucking rock, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much the end. I thought it was a fucking crazy experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. So I almost wasn't going to record this video because it's actually really similar to a video I did a few days back, or actually like a week back. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's kind of funny. It's definitely different, but there's some similarities, and I think you guys will be able to spot them. Let me know if you do. Oh, and by the way, next time I'm recording a video and there's a bunch of screaming little kids outside my window because they're playing like soccer or some shit, I'm just not even going to mention it. You guys can just listen, because I said that in yesterday's video. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, there's people outside screaming. And there was like 4 top comments like, Luna, they weren't outside. They were in your basement, you fucking weirdo. And I was like, yeah, never mentioning that again. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this story today. Leave a like if you enjoy it. And let's start this. So this took place when I was 14. And honestly, 14 was probably that age where I was like the biggest fucking nerd on the planet. I mean, I still kind of am. But when I was 14 is when I played like a lot of video games. And I would just like sit in summer nights and like stay up all night. I still do that, but stay up all night, and then I would like go and do everything the next day, and I just look like a fucking zombie at age 14. I'd like hang out with my friends for the day, and they'd look at me and they'd be like, dude, you look sick. And I'd be like, no, I just didn't sleep last night. And they'd be like, how the fuck do you do that, dude? And since then I have evolved and gotten better. I do sleep a lot more now, but very wrong hours, of course. But anyway, I'm getting completely fucking sidetracked. Take it back to when I was 14 years old. It's where the start of this story is. I was at a friend's house, and not even a house, it was a townhouse. So he shared it with another neighbor, and it was like a little apartment thing. And this is one of my closest friends. I've known him ever since I was like 11 or 12, and I'm still friends with him to this day. And back then, I would literally go over there every fucking weekend, and in the summer, it'd be like every single day. And I would just literally sit in his room with him, and we'd just like stay up playing video games all fucking night. And his mom was so cool, she would literally let us, and at like 7 a.m., she'd wake up, make us breakfast, and then we'd go and pass out, which is not very good for us, but anyway. We would do that, and just certain night I was over at his place doing that. It was a nice summer night, like super fucking awesome, having a bunch of fun. And we did that pretty much throughout the entire night. And about 5 a.m., okay, I was getting super fucking hot. It was super hot in his room. He didn't have like the biggest room, so it got hot in there pretty quick. I'm sitting there in like basketball shorts, wearing like a white t-shirt, just playing video games, and I got up and I like walked out of the room because I was getting really hot. And I literally took my shirt off and sat down on the couch. And I realized that right next to the door there was a giant like bag of garbage, because that's the way they would do it, is they would put the garbage by the front door, and then, you know, he would go out and take it to the dumpster. And I was just sitting there like cooling off, looking at the bag of fucking garbage. And you know, me being polite, I was like, hey dude, I yelled down the hallway, I was like, yo, you want me to take your garbage out? He's like, yeah, sure. So I fucking grabbed the thing of garbage. I was kind of excited to go outside, like, it was still pretty much dark out, so I was excited to go out in like the dark and just cool off a little bit. And I walk outside, and you know, I grabbed a little door and the frame so that it wouldn't lock on me, because it's like an apartment, so it locks if you don't have a key. But anyway, I stalled the door and I start walking towards the dumpster. It's a little bit of a walk, and while I'm walking, I noticed something. Keep in mind, I'm wearing fucking basketball shorts, don't have a shirt on, I'm 14, just stayed up the whole night playing Xbox, and I feel like complete shit, like straight up. And what I noticed is like there was this little middle part between all the garages and stuff of grass where kids would go to like play soccer and stuff. There was a huge crowd of people there, like at 5 a.m. And it wasn't like a crowd of adults that was there to see something interesting, like a sports game. It was more like a crowd of teenagers. Freaking out. And I was like, the fuck? And it was all because of me. Like, they were all staring at me as they ran away and stuff. And I got really confused because I was like, terrifying looking. I probably look like the most harmless pussy right now. Like, I was no joke confused. Like, there was only a couple kids that didn't run away from me, and they came up to me, and they were like, yo, like, thank you. And this confused the fuck out of me even more, because they're older than me. Like, everyone pretty much in the crowd was older than I was, and I scared them away. I was, like, completely freaked out. And I didn't know what they were thanking me for. I wasn't even able to get close enough to see what was going on in the middle of the crowd. So I said, I was like, thanks for what? I didn't do anything. And the kid that thanked me just goes, dude, we were literally getting jumped, and you stopped it. I was like, wait, what? Are you guys okay? He's like, yeah, I mean, we got a few slaps to the face, but before they did anything serious, you were right there. And I was like, dude, no fucking joke. I was just taking my friend's trash out. I had no idea what was going on. That's why I came up here. And then this other kid asked me if he could come back to my friend's place with me and use his phone because they stole his. And I was like, yeah, for sure. And that's what we did. We walked back to my friend's house. They used his little house phone to call rides. And that was literally it. Like, I got one of their names, and that was it. I didn't get his number or anything, and they left. They thanked us, of course, but still, pretty fucked up. At 5 in the morning, I don't know what group of teenagers is like, hey, let's go jump some people. But if someone younger than us comes along who's completely harmless, we better run away from him. Like, that was their fucking logic. Like, I literally, 14-year-old me, like fucking me, sleep-deprived teenager, taking out my friend's trash, and on the way to the dumpster, I noticed something, so I kind of approached it, and they all fucking dispersed and run away like I'm some scary-ass person. I mean, they probably could have thought that I was calling the cops or something, but they could have easily just kicked the shit out of me as well as those people. But I don't know, I got really fucking lucky, I guess, and everyone ended up being okay. Well, they actually did get hit around.
I get paid early. I pay no account fees. I can take cash out for free. And I can separate out my business expenses.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here. Today I have a pretty crazy story.
Oh, snap.
Jump right into
Oh,
this. And yeah, if you enjoy, You know what to do.
Oh,
Leave
shit.
a like on the video. And let's start this. Also, I'm a little bit sick still, so I'm sorry if I still sound a little bit under the weather. But anyway, this story time takes place about 3 years back. My friend hit me up and invited me over to his place. It's not the place he had that was shitty, it was just everything surrounding it. Like, I remember one time we were driving to his place, and he pulled over on the side of the street real quick to, like, map out directions. And this dude comes up to the window and just, like, puts his face on the passenger side window, like, drooling down it, just staring at us. And I remember, like, looking at my friend being like, dude, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We're about to die. And we have to leave. But, like, this is one of the many story times this area has. So anyway, if I didn't get a ride to his place, I'd have to walk or ride my bike. And walking there in the daytime or riding my bike isn't scary or bad at all. Like, usually it's fine in the daytime. It was just at night when I had to leave. Because every time I'd leave his apartment at nighttime, I'd have to go out the exit doors, and there was always somebody waiting there for me. Now, most of the time, it wasn't a big deal. Usually it was somebody just asking for spare change, which doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I'm on stream, so don't say anything dumb. Why you calling me an insider? Again. No, nigga, you do that every time, bro. Alright, we could be cool, just don't do that no more. Oh yeah, and me and Hunter and Christopher aren't cool. Cause on official, Christopher kept telling me to but when I joined their tribe on official, oh shit. But when I got on official with them, Christopher, oh yeah, Christopher was calling me a bitch. I was like, call me a bitch one more time and you'll regret it. He called me a bitch one more time. I demoed their whole base. And I didn't take nothing. I left the server right after I did it. So I wasn't inciting. Like, inciting is you profit yourself. You want to join the server with me? Are you going to go on an island to get your nut run or no? I'm about to go check that spot that we usually build at. Yeah, I'm about to end it and show progress at the end. Chibis. Alright, yeah, I'm about to end the stream. I'll catch you guys later.